Okay, just wanted to do a quick video on Final Fantasy VII. I finished Final Fantasy VII, well, the remake. I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 on hard mode. I have to say, fucking love the game. Fucking love it. And all the purist wankers that are complaining about how it ended, I liked it. Thought it was fun overall. A lot better than it was a massive improvement over the original. I don't know where people. Can't believe people are saying this game is shit. Especially some of the hardcore, so-called hardcore fan base who aren't happy with the remake. It's like, look, when I first played that game, either in late to 1997 or 1998. I can't remember. I was 15 at the time, so it must be 1998. Yeah, back in 1998, I had a Sega Saturn. I also played JRPGs on the Sega Saturn, imported ones. I played Grandia. The big JRPGs back then in Japan, with the well-known ones were Shine Force 3, Grandia, Sakura Wars, Langrisser, and Final Fantasy games, like notably Final Fantasy VII. Oh yeah, and Panzer Dragon Saga, yeah. So I played most of those games, bar the Sakura Wars one, because it's all in Japanese. And actually, no, I didn't hear of it. Actually, I played games that were in Japanese back in the 90s. So, but I knew the gist of the plot. But anyway, Final Fantasy VII I played. While it was good, it wasn't my favourite JRPG of all time. It was good, but it had its flaws. Combat was too easy. Once you got the right material combination, you can whiz through the fucking game like no one's business. The remake, however, balanced out. They balanced out the right way. When they made the material expensive, normal mode, and you have to purchase material wisely. Obviously, it's smart because you're fighting a lot of machinery in Final Fantasy VII. It's smart to buy the lightning material and the healing material. That's what you need, and then But the boss fight's amazing. Stellar boss fights, and the development team at Square Enix, which comprised the old guard of SquareSoft, the old guard that worked on the older Final Fantasy games. Like, I know Tetsuya Nomura first worked on Final Fantasy IV. He was a debugger or something like that. And he did some good work on Final Fantasy V. He was behind the monster designs. So I think he designed X-Death, and all the other monsters in Final Fantasy V. So he did good work. And then I think he had some sort of a role in 6. And finally he had a significant role in 7. I think he and someone else, I can't remember his name, but they came up with the scenario and the concept design and all that. So it's their baby, essentially. It wasn't Sakaguchi's baby, even though he came out with Final Fantasy. They came out with Final Fantasy VII. Although it was flawed, it pretty much popularized JRPGs. So you got to give Square credit for that. Not the best Final Fantasy VII, but it's the most well known. In my opinion, it's not my favorite Final Fantasy, even though it was good. I liked it a whole lot better than 8, but not my favorite one. Even though I do play it regularly, lots of times, finish it lots of times, because some of the end bits were underwhelming, and the only challenges you got from that game were the weapons. That's it. Once you've got all the, you could just unlock all the limit breaks. You can just whiz through it with limit break level 3, meet your rain, woo, kill the fuckers. That's it. There's hardly a challenge to it, Whereas in the remake, everything balanced out. The enemies will kick your fucking ass if you don't plan accordingly. Even on the hard mode, you play a hard mode, the items are disabled. You know, the item screen's disabled. You can't select items. You can't use potions and shit like that. You know, and you can't heal your MP either. So even if you rest on the bench or whatever, you can only heal your health. So you can't heal your MP. So it's a pretty good move by Square to make it action oriented with some old school turn-based elements. You make plan things out. You know, and while it's slow mo and shit, it's great. You know, I don't understand why people complain about. Well, it's because of how it ended. You know, but it's a remake, and the thing with remakes is you can't go the original narrative. That's the whole point of the Whispers. The Whispers were representing the fucking purest fans who want things to go the original way. It's a clever take on it. It's just saying, look, fans, all right, this is 2020. Things got to move on to the next bit. You know, you fuckers didn't complain about the Scarface remake with Al Pacino. Everyone loved the Scarface remake over the original. The remake's more well known than the original People didn't know that Scarface was a remake of Scarface back in the 40s, you know. Tony Montana was an Italian mobster, whereas the Al Pacino incarnation, he was a Cuban refugee, you know. A lot of people know that, so. But it's the most popular remake. So remakes do work, you know, reimagining things, you know, work, you know. So in this case, it sold more than the original Final Fantasy, and the original had a lot of the scenario planning had a lot of things that didn't make sense. Like when you infiltrated the Shinra building, for example, you had these little side quests that you had to do, and it just made no sense to me. Like, you know, like you have to do all these weird puzzles, and you're infiltrating the head HQ while you're doing all these weird puzzles. You got to look at books and shit, and you got to put this piece. You got to piece up this Midgar model all together. It's a bit, you know, it was a game, but it's just a bit wacky. And then you have to hide behind the statues to get past the guards. You know, there's only 2 guards on patrol, and if they find you out, and if you kill them, then you just go back to the spot where you were hiding previously, and you got to go to the other side. It just made no sense. Whereas the scenarios in the remake made a lot more fucking sense. They're more realistic and grounded in reality, which is what I think they're trying to do. They kept some stuff from the original, but it just felt more grounded in reality, the scenarios, than the original did. Even though there's supernatural crap in the remake, of course, but the scenario planning was a lot better than it was in the original. And the script is a lot better too. Obviously, in all due respect, the translator only had 2 weeks to translate the original Final Fantasy VII, so it wasn't his fault. It was the people who hired him, who gave him a ridiculous deadline, get this done in 2 weeks. Hence the grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, and there was a lot of important plot twists, you know, plot devices being omitted out, you know. Because apparently, you know, Final Fantasy VII was too sophisticated for Western audiences and blah blah blah, a load of bullshit. But you know, it's a lot better writing, a lot better story writing than the original, in my opinion. Even though technically, the original was canon to the remake. Like, I don't want to spoil too much. With the ending of Final Fantasy VII, but it's essentially a different parallel to the original timeline. I mean, I played this Sega Saturn game called Dark Savior, and it applies the same concept. You know, you do things different, you get different parallels, you do things differently at the start, and you know, it's that point where time splits, you know, to different parallels, and you know, so yeah, check that game out, you know, on emulator. The game's aged badly. The Dark Saber is a 1996 Sega Saturn game, but you know, the concept's the same as how Final Fantasy VII Remake ended. You know, there's a lot of time loops, and you know, alternate universe shit. So a lot of people are in disagreement with it, whereas I think it's a brilliant idea. It keeps remake fresh, open to new possibilities, and I think that's a good thing. If people don't like it, just play the fucking original, all right? You know, and people are like outraged because Square Enix are out there to make money. Final Fantasy VII is like fucking cash cow. Well, no fucking shit. That's the whole point of running a business, to make a fucking profit. Like, I'm not trying to be a fucking dude, bro. I'm not one of those people who buy popular fucking games or whatever the fuck. I play indies and all that shit, but I'm a realist, you know. Game companies are out there to make a bit of money, to earn a living, you know. And Square Enix is one of the biggest companies out there, and their Final Fantasy series is well known. So, they are gonna depend on games like Final Fantasy VII to rake in a lot of money. I mean, fuck me. And it's a really good game, whether you're into popular games or not. You know, it's a good game for indie players and non-indie players alike. So it strikes a good balance. So I'm glad it sold a lot of copies. I'm looking forward to part 2. Not interested in what the naysayers think, because I had a lot of fun with hard mode, and I just finished off the Sephiroth fight in chapter 18. I didn't do the whole parapets thing, the cheat way, fight super boss, get this item so you can just reuse limit breaks over and over. I did it legit. I did it legit way. And it was good. It was good. Good game overall. I'd check it out. Check out Final Fantasy VII Remake if you haven't played JRPGs before. It's mostly action orientated. You'll like it, and if it's a bit too difficult for you, normal mode, there's an easy mode and available, so you can just tinker with the difficulty. But if you want a bit of a challenge, just finish normal mode first and then play hard mode. All right, and it's good. It's good part 1. It's a good first part of this whole new saga of Final Fantasy VII. I'd check it out. It's really good.